Evening, happy Wednesday. Welcome to Live in Conversation. I'm excited to be with you all this evening. My name is Daphnée Antoine, and I'm in conversation with my lovely co host.
I am Daphnée Camilien. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it as always. We have an awesome conversation with you all this evening. We have an amazing guest interviewee. Um, Throughout this month, we've been teaching about financial literacy, promoting financial literacy, and bringing people in the finance field and the business field who can come and share the knowledge with us all so we can all level up. So that being said, before we get started, as always, I'm gonna have Attorney Camillion share a disclosure.
Sure. So I am an attorney, excuse me, and anything I say this evening does not enter you and I into an attorney-client relationship. Renee is a financial entrepreneur. Anything that she says this evening does not enter you into a fiduciary duty relationship with Renee. All the information we are sharing tonight is general information, and it's for information purposes only. Back to you.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you for sharing that. So this evening we again going to have an amazing guest interview with you all. But before we do, we have Attorney Chameleon here of Chameleon Law, and then she always share information with us in respect to immigration, whether that's news, whether that's knowledge. So if you or somebody you know may have any questions concerning any immigration questions um, that you want to ask this evening, or
I'm
you
a,
want
Go ahead. I'm just
you
adjusting
good.
myself because I feel like
You
I'm
look
low,
amazing. We level up.
right?
Yes, we are. Um, yeah, so come on in because at this time, Attorney Chameleon is gonna share her immigration segment with us all.
Sure. So tonight I'm going to talk to you a little bit about two things that's going on in immigration news as we speak. We have Title 42, right? So what's going on with Title 42? So Title 42 has to deal with people who are filing for asylum or who are coming to the United States to file for asylum. And the United States has turned away a lot of people under the law of Title 42, the regulations in Title 42, saying that because we have a health issue, COVID-19, we cannot allow people to come to the United States to file for asylum. Well, now that a lot of places are lifting bans on from COVID-19 because less people are getting COVID-19. They are The Biden administration wants to lift Title 42. People are opposed to this because there's a lot of migrants, a lot of people coming to the United States to seek asylum because they say they're being persecuted in their country. And currently, right now, there is reportedly there is 170,000 people waiting in Mexico to cross. They're not necessarily Mexican. They're coming from all over the world. They've been trying to come to the United States to file for asylum, and they've been waiting in Mexico to cross the border and try to file for asylum as soon as Title 42 is lifted. So this has been very controversial. The Biden administration said at the end of May they're going to lift Title 42. A lawsuit was filed. A federal judge, I believe it was yesterday, put a stay for 14 days. That basically means that the government can't do anything. They can't, go ahead and lift this Title 42 regulation for at least for the next 14 days while this is hashed out legally. So this is very controversial right now. If you have a loved one that is trying to come to the United States or is in Mexico, you have to stay tuned because things are changing at all times. If they're trying to come to Mexico, if they're waiting in Mexico, trying to cross the border and to come in and then go ahead and file for asylum when they're here. So the other immigration news, so just stay tuned. things are constantly changing. The other immigration news is Cameroon has been granted TPS status. So the U.S. government will grant people from certain countries certain TPS, which stands for temporary protected status. This status allowing them to stay in the United States if they don't have status without and allow them to work because they cannot go back to their country for persecution, for I should say like conflict, natural disasters, those type of things, not persecution, but natural disasters, armed conflict. And in this case, Cameroon has armed conflicts going on. They have, I think Boca Raton is back. So there's a lot of things that are going on in Cameroon. And a lot of people Cameroonians that are in the United States cannot go back to Cameroon because of what's going on. So the temporary protected status will go into effect once it comes down to the National Register. But they've already stated that if a person was in the country since April 14th, 2022, they would be eligible for TPS. And TPS is going to be good for 18 months. So once again, Cameroon has been granted TPS. Back to you, Daphnée. Oh, let me go ahead and say now to just add a little bit more. The numbers for, I believe we're at 14 countries who have been granted TPS through the United States. And so all of these countries have had a natural disaster, has wars going on. Before Cameroon, people from Ukraine were granted TPS. So you're having all type of things going on. With immigration. Immigration is always in the news as these elections are coming up for, we're having the presidential election coming in 2024. You're going to start seeing people campaigning next year. There's lots of, things going on in general with immigration. DACA, which is for the young people who came here. This stands for Deferred Action. Childhood arrivals, the DACA kids that are here, people who have that special status. The news that recently came out regarding them is that they can file for DACA renewals and also work authorization. They can file for these things online. And that's a big deal. Most people might not think we're in 2022. What's the big deal? Law tends to be really slow when it comes to technology. So the fact that people can start filing their DACA renewals online and their work authorization online, is pretty big. It's renewals. It's not the new people, it's the renewals. So that's more, that's recent immigration news. But yeah, keep watching. If you have some immigration issue going on, keep watching the news because everything you see, the elections, you're going to see a lot more stuff going on with the borders. All of this stuff affects everybody. Right now there's a humongous, I can't state it enough, humongous backlog in immigration. Just if you filed any type of application for a family member, if you filed it for yourself, a lot of people have been waiting a long time. And those are, like I said, all this political stuff you're seeing, it will affect it. So just stay tuned, pay attention to the news, and always check us out. And you can always contact the show and send an email, or you can email me directly, or you can call me with your immigration question. Back to you, Daphnée. Oh, you're on mute.
I'm on mute. Yes, thank you, thank you. I mean, I know you always do an amazing job keeping us updated with respect to immigration. This is what you do. This is why you're so generous. And then, so to all of you watching, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. This is Daphnée Antoine and attorney Daphnée Camilien in conversation to share information to help family thrive. Um, as Attorney Camillen just did, to share information regarding the immigration aspect. And so if you or somebody you know may need Attorney Camillen services, we encourage you to reach out to her. You can contact her via email or via her website, chameleonlaw.com, or you can reach out to her at 847-410-9022. 847-410-9022. So we here every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central Time. So if you have any question, you can always, as Daphnée Camilien just said, messenger her, messenger me, put your comments or question in the comment of the live. Or if there's something that you want us to answer privately, you can always do a 15 minutes consultation with Daphnée Camilien, and she can help guide you. Anything else you want to add, or I should go ahead?
Oh, go ahead.
Awesome. So right now we're going to have our resource segment. So basically, it's basically me sharing some resource with you all that can help you either in your personal life, if you're an entrepreneur, in your business journey. And so I'm gonna put myself in the solo and help you right now. And again, any comments or question, put it in the comments. This is live in conversation. All right, everyone. Once again, my name is Daphnée Antoine. I am in the Chicagoland area. I am a mom, a wife. What else do I do? A church goer. I basically do it all. But with that being said, this month is Financial Literacy Month. We've had some guests come to speak our mindset to thrive. We have guests speak about managing our money, managing our finances. We have debt. We spoke about debt management, and then so today we're also gonna talk about business entrepreneurship. Basically, how can we make money work for us? Like, how can we turn our passion or ideas into a thriving business? So before to do that, I just want to encourage, all of us, because if we if we are working for a company, there is nothing wrong with that. Okay, I just want to say that to you all, because I know we in the, I guess there's this, I don't want to say it's a new society, but there's this new mindset that everybody have to be an entrepreneur. Everyone has to be to have a business, and that's not necessarily the case. Okay, not everybody wants to have a business, and then so there is nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, we have to be able to take our money and make it work for us, so that we can enjoy it longer, and so he can go further. And then so if you are here and you have a 9 to 5, and you have a job, and you also want to consider entrepreneurship, there's basically ways to do that without you having to leave your job. And then so one of those way is, you already have the knowledge, you already have the skill, and you already spending the time to help somebody else create the business. You can also take your own knowledge and become a consultant. So as a consultant, you are able to offer the knowledge and the skill you have to different people, to different companies, and be able to create another stream of income with your knowledge. And then so for example, I'm a former banker, and then that's what I used to do. And then, but now I'm a stay-at-home mom. Okay, but then I'm able to uh, offer my service to my church because I am the bookkeeper. And then that's not something that you have to leave your house to do. And then so if you have a knowledge, you have a skill, and then you have a job, you can always offer your services. You can always offer your knowledges to different people who are willing, who needs your service, and who are willing to pay you for them. The second way to also create additional income is to become an affiliate, because a lot of time we may have this amazing idea. Okay, uh but then we don't have the time or the patience to go ahead and implement it. But we care about it, and we want to make money. And then so it is okay to find someone who already have the product that you are interested in offering, that you don't have the time to create. And then if it aligns with your values, if you see that it's a product that you are that you stand behind, because at the end of the day you have to be able to stand behind that product, because you don't want to just put your name on anything. If you see a product, you see a service that somebody is offering, and you are happy with it, you can become an affiliate for this person. So, meaning that if you help them promote it, if you help them sell it, you are able to earn a percentage of that sale. And then so that way, you don't have to invest all your time, your energy, and your own resources to start a business or to create another stream of income. And then the last resource or information I want to share with you all is, for those of us in the Chicagoland area. Daphnée Camilien and I are in Chicagoland. I've shared these resources with you all before, so I'm gonna share it again. Uh, because the all states, and then I'm sure it's in your states as well. I'm sure it's in your states. If you don't know, contact your alderman office, contact different business um organization, and you will be able to find out. So Chicago as a program, let me share my screen. That basically provides seminars. It brings people, provide education about the steps needed to start a business. Okay, and then so before you could go in person to attend those workshops, to attend um the seminars. But obviously, with everything that happened with COVID, now they have a YouTube page. Okay, so it's Chicago BACP, and it has so many videos for you in regards to the step necessary and the resources needed to start and launch a business. For example, I'm not sure. I'm sure you all can see my screen. It's a little small, but if you subscribe to this YouTube channel, and then if you're in a different city, I'm sure they have something similar. Connect to those resources, because your city wants you to create businesses. Okay, they want you to be able to create income. They want you to employ people, and then so they have information for you to help you thrive as a business owner. So connect to those resources, reach out to your alderman office, reach out to different organizations that can guide you into the right step, because what you don't know hurt. I'm sure you've heard it said before. So that's basically what I wanted to share with you all this evening. And we have a guest, and I don't want to take more time from him. And so I will end it right here. I hope you will find this information um, helpful. And then you can always reach out to me or reach out to Daphnée Camilien if you have any additional question. All right. So anything you want to add, Tony Camillen, before we introduce our guest this evening?
No, it was a great resource.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So we don't want to just sit and speak with you all and just be Daphnée and I, but we also want to bring people who are in the field. Okay, so people who are doing the work, people who have experience, and people who can add another layer to the conversation. So as this month is Financial Literacy Month, and we want to ensure that we can have conversation with the different people in the business field who can help share knowledge with us, who can share tips, and who can inspire and encourage us. Let me just make sure that our guest is ready this evening. So I'll just wait a second, and then I'll introduce him to you all. So with that being said, as I'm waiting, I do want to thank all of you who are live right now watching. I see you. I appreciate you. A big shout out to my sister, Christine Renee, who is joining us. She is also an entrepreneur. If you know Christine, I'm sure she sold you something before. She's not playing. She said you look good, Daphnée. I think that's when you were trying to adjust yourself.
Oh yeah,
She
trying to.
said you look good.
Thank you.
And then my favorite niece, Christina, says, "This is my auntie." Yeah, I love you, girl. All right, all right. Uh, what do you think, Daphne? Should I go ahead? I'm not sure.
Yeah, link. Is he there? Link to him.
Yeah, okay. All right. So this evening I have an amazing guest with you all, who's gonna be teaching us or helping us and sharing some tips with us about how to level up. He is a husband. He is a father. He is also a community leader, and he has his recent book, Level Up the Entrepreneur Mindset. And we have the privilege of having him with us this evening, and it is none other than Mr. Bretner Paul. Okay, are you available, Mr. Paul? Go ahead. Could be some difficulty. Let me just reach out. Oh, my sister say level up. Yes, it's time for all of us to level up, especially with inflation going
Yeah.
crazy right now. We all need to level up and increase at different income, right? How do they say it, Daphne?
Multiple
Multiple
streams of.
income, multiple, yeah, multiple stream of
We're
income.
all supposed to have 7 different multiple streams of income. I don't know how.
7. Oh, 7 is a lot.
7 is a lot, right? I don't know. I
But
don't
it
know.
depends. It's depend on how you do it.
I guess. I
Yeah,
guess.
because like so I'm launching an agency. So I have my Antoine Business Consulting agency. So basically just adding different services that a business may need. So it
Mm.
could be bookkeeping. I mean, it is gonna be bookkeeping. I already launched that. Bookkeeping, social media managing. And so it looks like our guest this evening is here and ready. So let's do it. Take your camera
You're gonna
when
have
you
to
go
teach.
up
You're gonna have
though.
to teach me.
Yeah. Okay. I think the camera is too low because we don't see your face. Let me see. Okay, yeah, now you're good. Oh, okay. Hello,
Hello.
hello. Good
Good evening,
evening,
ladies.
good evening.
Good
Thank you
evening.
so much for being with us. Sorry for the technical difficulty. We appreciate you being our guest this evening. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
We are well. How are you, Daphnée
I'm
Camilien?
good. I'm excited to learn more about you, Mr. Bretner.
Yes.
I'm sure
So
you know a
Mr.
little bit
Butler
about
is a, I
I
mean,
didn't know all this. Go ahead.
you are an icon in the Chicagoland area. So let me allow you to introduce yourself. Yes, you are. Go ahead and introduce yourself. Let us know who you are.
All right. Well, if we're talking to the Haitian community, this is your man, Bretner Paul. Uh, been living here for about 30 plus years in the Haitian community. And I've played in music bands and church bands. I got kicked out and come back in. It's been a roller coaster, definitely. But yeah, that's pretty much me.
So tell us about. So I know you, but I there's so much that I'm learning about you. That's what I said. I didn't know about all of this. So I want to know the story. You came here when? You're born and raised in Haiti. You came here.
1991. I was about 15, turning 16 years old. It was a summer. Just came for vacation. And when I was about to return to Haiti, there was a coup. So my mom was like, you know what? You're not going back. So I went straight to high school, 3 years finished. Then went on to college and earned a bachelor in marketing.
Very cool. And so, when did your entrepreneurship journey begin?
Uh, it's one of the things I think it's could be taught, but most of it is innate, right? You have
Right.
that sense of feeling where you always trying to either barter, right, something for something, and or trying to sell something to your friends, right? It could be your shoes you're not wearing anymore, or clothes you're not wearing anymore. I've seen one of my sons doing that right now. He'll buy some shoes or Jordans or whatever, and when he's done with them, he sells it to his friends.
Oh, fun.
Entrepreneurship,
Yeah.
right? You're
Yeah.
just trying to make a couple dollars of what you paid for it. Um, so that pretty much the genesis of it for me. Start selling to people I knew back in the days in terms of like Amway catalog before the internet was. There was never. There might have been the internet, but it wasn't public, right? And we're
Right.
talking about in the '90s, selling to friends, um, small items, not necessarily beauty products, but it was just small houseware items that I would show catalog to church going people with me or friends. Hey, do you want to buy it? So part of some of it was, sympathy. Okay, I'll buy it from you, right? And some of it was just like, hey, I took the initiative of sending for this, catalog, right?
Right.
My English was not any close to where it is right now. And I'm learning and managing, through this whole new system that I'm part of all of a sudden. And that was mostly that was the beginning of it for me, really. And then after that, after college, start working, in corporate America, still doing side hustle. My first actual business was a cell phone store in Rogers Park.
Oh wow.
And back then, there was no unlimited calls. All right. I don't know how old you guys are, but before T-Mobile, there was a company called VoiceStream. I was in the early 2000s or whatnot. And they would limit you to 200 or 300 minutes for $30 a month. If you go over that, it's like $2 a minute. And
Oh, wow.
everybody was going over that. So if I were to sell you a phone and even give you a phone, if you went over your bill for that month, everybody did. Because, you have this mobile device now that you can be in your car, wherever you're making phone calls, right? Late at night, you're talking to your new friend or boyfriend, girlfriend, right? And you going over 300 minutes easy in 30 days. That's like 10 minutes a day. That's nothing.
Right.
And when people did go over those minutes, they'll come back and get my commission because nobody will pay those, $2 a minute, right? If you go over 1,000 minutes, that's a lot of money. Nobody would pay it. So that was like 8 months. I was out of business. I was out of it. But it was a learning experience.
It's definitely a learning experience.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. I didn't know you had a cell phone store. That's very cool.
Yeah.
So you had multiple business ventures.
First of all, I know your husband, but I don't.
That's true. That's true. That's very true. So
So
you
go
go
ahead.
ahead. No, I was saying you had multiple business ventures. You had a restaurant, right?
Yeah. So prior to getting into the restaurant business, I was in telecommunications, working for AT&T for a long time. Data consultant, so on and so forth, selling to larger corporations. And then in 2008, I was also in the mortgage business. But in 2008, when the market crashed, I lost my job, like a lot of people did. Right?
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what? I'm from AT&T. I can get a job anywhere. It was a year, nothing. It was 2 years, nothing. Resume, interviews. So I had to do what I had to do, right? I find myself with a college degree working for $12 an hour, right? I have a family. I have to provide. So it was a learning experience, and you pick up from there. I start going back to school, taking a project management class, right? Trying to hone myself, my skills, and put it back on my resume so employers can see that I'm valuable again. And it never really come to fruition until I started another business with a business partner. I ended up in the healthcare business, providing a caregiver service for seniors.
Mm.
And that was in 2013. Put it put it pretty good with my business partner. And warning, make sure you choose your business partner wisely, right?
Mhm,
It
mhm.
See,
could even it can be family members. Money change people. Money change people. Greed change people. Not everybody's solid. Not everybody's humble and think like, okay, it's only money. I have this new thing I keep saying, it's only money. It's only a car. It's only money. Because you're gonna make it, you're gonna spend it, you may lose it, you're gonna die and leave it behind with life insurance, right? It's only money. But you have to be careful, conscious of it, that and use it properly and invest it properly, save and so on and so forth. So my business partner and I didn't work out, got bought out, went on my own, started a medical transportation company. And then that was when Uber really started getting, so that was a competition. They're really cheaper. I took the money again and flip it into buying a restaurant that was already in existence. And then from that, you know, start working and learn that business and starting a second restaurant. And this summer, I'm supposed to be opening a third one also.
And where's your? So tell me the type of food. Where is it located? So those
So,
in the area can check it out.
right. So the restaurant right now is in Round Lake. It's an American breakfast type of restaurant, omelet, skillets, French toast from 7 a.m. to 2 p.m., which is pretty good because you have the rest of the day to yourself versus, a bar and grill or dinner restaurant. Usually you're working in the evening through the night. And those are tougher. And then I just reopened another one in Lindenhurst. I'm like Lake County, around in Illinois. Uh, Again, Express Cafe restaurant, which is breakfast, American breakfast. That's the second store. And this summer I'm going to reopen. I don't know why, but I will. Carabana, which is a Caribbean restaurant here in the Gurney area also.
nice, nice. Congrats. You are making it happen. But then you're generous enough to take all your, I guess, all your experience, not only your knowledge, but then also your experience, and wrap it up in a book. So tell us about that.
Last year somehow I just started saying that word level up when I'm talking to friends. And it just starting to dawn on me. So I'm like, you know what? Let me start writing things. So I'm taking notes on my phone, taking notes on my laptop. And next thing you know, I had an outline of what I want to talk about in terms of, you know, leveling up. And I've seen different people take different spin at it, right? To level up. I've seen a level up book about fitness, for example, right? And mine was just about entrepreneurship or the mindset of an entrepreneur. So you don't have to own a business. You can literally run your business within a larger corporation. For example, if you don't even have to be the district manager. You could be like a supervisor of a company, and they give you a P&L, profit and loss, right? This is your department. You run it, and this is what we expect you to do. You know, it's the NOI you have to meet, so on and so forth. So within that company, because a lot of people don't want to leave their job because of that security of income, right? Every 2 weeks, you have a paycheck coming in. And if you don't have that coming in, yeah, within a company, you can be an entrepreneur within a company. And so you figure out what that process is, and you can venture out, right? By taking a bank loan or your 401k, right? But Not everybody's cut out to be an entrepreneur. Not everybody have to own their own business. You don't have to. It could be nice. It's not always nice. In the beginning, you're gonna be doing 16 hours a day. For example, me as a restaurateur, there's days where my dishwasher don't show up. Guess what? The dishes still got to get washed, right? So we have to figure this thing out. And you can't just, sit back and then watch everybody scramble. You have to be part of the process.
Wow. So would you say is your book more about a how to level up, or how to, and then also your story?
Okay. So it's more of the mindset of, right. So the other aspect of it is that, okay, let's say if you're a collection agent or customer service, that might be the most common at a company. Your goal is not to be a customer service agent for 30 years or 40 years and retire. Your goal is to become the supervisor of that, department.
Right.
Your next step is to, whatever the next step is, general manager, perhaps district, right? Ultimately, you want to get into that C-suite. You want to get into the corporate C-level, CEO, CFO, C, whatever level. Suite. Because you know why? Those guys, their jobs are contracted. Meaning, here's 250K, here's 300, here's 400 for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, plus stock option or whatever. You do 2 years into that job, you don't perform, you still get your money for that 5 years that you contracted for.
Right.
Level up.
You're working for $17 an hour, $20 an hour, you get fired, you get nothing. Done. Goodbye. Okay. So that is leveling up. And some people can do it. Not everybody can do it. But that's the mindset you want to have, is to get to that next level, either within your company or the vertical of your industry, right? Whatever it may be. So if supply chain diversity, that's your level, is to level up to get to the next level within that company or within that vertical, right? If you're in marketing, same thing. If you're in accounting or finance, why not become the CFO? Why not?
Right.
What is the difference between you and that person who is the CFO right now? If he's a man, he put his
Mindset.
pants on one leg at a time, just like you do. If it's a woman, he put his she put her mascara on just like she did. But
Or her
that,
pants.
hey, yeah, suit pants, right?
Yeah.
So that's the mindset, is not to be timid or get intimidated of getting to the next level. It will come with, some challenges. It will come with more stress. I would not encourage it for people with smaller kids, right? That needs, that soccer mom or that daily. But once they're at an age, they can actually be on their own, because there will be traveling involved. 9 times out of 10, if you're in those positions. Uh, why not? Why not? Don't be stagnant. Do not be stagnant, because you're gonna come home and do what? Put on the TV and watch the next Netflix show. These people already made it, or probably on their way, right? And I'm not saying not to catch a show, because that's one of the chapter. Leisure, travel, go to the movies, do what makes you happy, go to the beach or whatever. Have fun too. It's not just work, 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 80 hours a week. You will get burned out. I don't encourage anybody to do that. The only person that does that is Elon Musk, but he's not human. So this guy's different. He's different.
uh, and so you have a lot of experience. You have gone through all this journey, and then so knowing everything that you know now. You've already give us a few tips, but what would you do differently in your entrepreneurship journey?
Um, Probably, and I'm not a big book reader, but I read business journals and magazine. Articles, right? So knowledge, right? You have to keep learning, and that especially now. So it's easier now.
Yeah.
forgot what chapter it is. Education. So YouTube, right? How to do anything. I like to call it YouTube University. And I
Yeah.
will not be surprised one day if they come up with and call it YouTube University
Yeah.
or part of it, because there's everything you need to do. Everything you need to do. How to fill out an N400. It is on YouTube.
Yes, it is.
I would not encourage anybody to do it by themselves, but
We have a
Actually,
chameleon for that.
and I
right,
have a YouTube
we're gonna
channel.
plug in our attorney Daphnée Camilien for that.
No,
If
we have
you need to
a
file an
chameleon for that.
N400,
Right.
reach out to my girl. So there's that, right? Educating yourself daily and everything, daily. Reading. Yes, we're gonna get caught up on the Facebook stuff sometimes, and it's funny. We need that a little bit of laughter too, but educating yourself as much as you can. Read, listen to something that is constructive, right? And then that helps over time.
I really like what you said about, like, if you have small kids, or you can do this later, or work on it. Is as far as just to say to anybody out there who has certain circumstances that you can pursue this later. You can pursue little by little. You can you can try it anytime. So everybody, and you could be working towards that.
Correct. Yeah. So and that includes, writing down, a little bit of the plan. I have an app on my phone. That thing it's a notepad per se, right? Anything that I think of, come up to mind or whatever, I just write it in there. Sometimes I don't even know why until later on I went back and start looking and be like, okay, this is why, I wrote that down because I don't want to forget it. And I'm sure we've all been like, you know what, man, I came up with this great idea, but I forgot what it was.
Right.
Did not write it down. Or even dreams, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've had dreams. I mean, that was the next $1 million idea dreams. And then you wake up, you don't remember, you don't remember it an hour or two later. But as you wake up and take notes of it, it might have, clicked. And then later on, you go back and be like, oh, this is what that was. It could be big, it could be nothing, or it could be something.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
I
But
mean, I
yeah,
don't know.
if you write down what it is, that comes to mind that you want to do long term, right? There's short term goals and long term goals. If you don't plan, you plan to fail, or whatever that saying is, right? You have to write this thing down. And it doesn't have to be in details. It could be clip notes, high level, very macro level, outline, boom. That's what it is. Because later on, you have to go back and write down the details at the micro level, what it is you want to do.
For sure. Go ahead. Were you gonna say something?
No, go
Daphne?
ahead. I just want to say thank you to everyone who are watching right now. We see you. We appreciate you. This is live in conversation. Daphnée Camilien and I, we basically come live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central Time to share information, to share resources. Attorney Camilien have an immigration segment where she educate all things immigration or inform us of any current immigration news. And we also have the interviewee segment. So where we interview people who are excelling in the field, who can help us, who can guide us, and who can share their knowledge with us. And this is why we have Mr. Bretner Paul with us this evening. He is the author of Level Up, the Entrepreneur Mindset. And this is the conversation we are having. So for all of you who just joining us now, we encourage you to share it, share, because at the end of the day, the more people you can help, the more you get help. And then so now all the information doesn't stay with you. So when you are wealthy, they don't come to you because you give them the knowledge to go get it themselves.
Right.
So I want to ask you. So if someone is interested in purchasing your book, where can they find it?
Option one is Amazon is the easiest. Whether you download it or order the book. It is also on Barnes and Noble, and those are the two outlets. But I'm using a company called Ingram. It's technically all over the world, but I couldn't tell you, where.
Mhm.
But Barnes and Noble definitely, and Amazon, and or you know, inbox me. You can get a signed copy. We
And
have to cash at me for it though.
and you're and are you you're you're available on if like someone wanted to reach out to you, you're also available on social media platforms as well.
Yes, Bretner Paul, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook.
All under Bretner Paul.
Yes, yes. I actually have two Facebook pages. So one of them is my alter ego, where I just clown. I'll take that one seriously. And then there's the Mr. Paul one. That one is a bit more serious.
Okay,
You
and this
gotta have a little bit of fun. You gotta have a little bit of fun. So yeah, I'm on Amazon. Download. I think it's $9, and the paperback right now is $19. I have plans to roll out the hardcover and the audio. I just have to go stay in the art, in a studio and record this thing,
oh,
or
very
pick somebody to do
very
it.
cool, very cool. And then the last is um, if you wanted to share with us anything else going on, but you told us a lot already. You got your
You
book, you got
did.
your restaurant. Um, name of your restaurants?
Uh,
Yes.
First one is Express Cafe,
Egg,
EGGSPRES.
eggs, express.
Yeah, correct, Express Cafe. Obviously with logo, nothing with logo. And then Caribana, which is Caribbean, it's Caribbean concept that I will reopen this later this summer. In terms of giving, advice and feedback to anybody, get started. Like,
Hmm.
do not wait for everything to be perfect. If you do, I've been heard. I think Mark Cuban said it too. You're not gonna make it because it's not gonna line up every time. It is not going to line up every time. You have to get started somehow, somewhere, and fake it till you make it, or whatever they say, and go. But don't go totally blind, right? Reach out to people, especially now. There's so much resources. Score, which is an organization. Any type of business you want to start, there's a CEO that used to run that business that is giving free advice in that space or industry, right? I think it's score.com. Reach out to them. Get that free information how to get started and avoid the pitfalls. Um, Pick up a book about entrepreneurship, right? You know, YouTube, whatever it is. If you want to start a tax business or bookkeeping business, keep reading about it and networking, which is also I think what chapter 9-ish. Networking with other people in the industry that you want to get into. You know, as a lawyer, yeah, you networking with mechanics. I don't know if it's gonna help you. Um, yeah, I mean, they will. If they have a shop, they will need a lawyer. But it is still not your vertical, right? Because you're immigration. You're not doing corporate law.
Right.
Could you do it? Yes, but that's taken out of your resource, what your niche is, and then what you actually focus on. So network is pretty key. It's yeah. You have to know people in the vertical in the industry that you want to be in or that you are in, and learn
I
from
love
them.
the fact that you said niche because obviously you told us about your journey and now you are a restaurateur. And then so is that basically your niche now? And also what advice do you have for people who doesn't know the niche yet or who's still trying to figure out to see exactly, okay, I love so many things, I can do so many things, but what should I do?
It's a very good question. So, like Devin said, you got to have at least 5, 6, 7 hustle going at the same
Make it
For
happen.
one, that's what foreigners do. For one, for two, they just that's the entrepreneurship mindset, right? That's that innate thing in you. Things are going on, and that's why you have to write things down. And to my chagrin, I didn't know. I confused you, Daphne, with your sister Christine. And I think it's the same person that keep inboxing me about stuff. Because she got every week she's got a different business.
Yeah, that's Christine. She is right here. She said I have 5 hustles.
I'm like,
I told you that's Christine. I'm Daphne.
"Girl, okay. So I'm like, no, okay. I already know about this one. But I'm let her keep doing her thing, as long as she learns from it. Like, for
Mhm.
example, this weekend, she was like, get on the Zoom call. I'm like, what is the Zoom call about? Just get on it. Like, but yeah, I'm in a space where, especially on a
That's my
Saturday,
sister.
I'm busy on a Saturday. I'm not gonna drop what I'm doing for a Zoom call unless I know exactly what it is that I'm gonna learn from it, right? She said financial literacy. Okay, I'm like, okay, that's 101. And now, I'm trying to be as humble as I can. I'm past 101 right now, right? So that's not for me. Hit the next person. But she's still, she's trying to hit as many people as possible, which is fine. Until she figure out what it is, because she's still young, making mistakes and still working, and it's not gonna be a big deal. But I'm working on a few other things. I'll keep them at bay for now,
Yep.
but they're not restaurant related. Um, Ideally, I was reading an article about the guy who owns Outback restaurants, and that's far fetched. That's like really long. That's like, uh,
Franchise.
600 restaurants, and they're not franchised. He owns all of them.
Oh,
Oh,
interesting.
wow.
He owns the Houston Rockets. $8 billion. I mean, that's like crazy money.
Mm-hmm.
Am I inspired to? I mean, but that give you, like, you know what? If one man can actually do that, it is feasible.
Right.
Is it going to happen in a year or two? No. 5 years? No. 10 years? No. It's been doing it for 30 years. So that's a different story. Also, I could stay in that space, or I may, pivot and do something else. For example, one restaurant was not doing good. I pivot and change the cuisine to something else, so I can survive. Right. So I may stay in the space. Right now I don't know.
Mhm.
And
And
again,
that's
it could be restaurant 10, and I'm still saying I don't know. Then it could be restaurant 20, and I'm still saying I don't know. What else?
Right. It's okay. It's okay. So we have 5 minutes. So if any of you are watching and you all have a question for Mr. Paul, go ahead and type it in the comment. I'm sure he'll be more than happy to answer it for you. And
Yes.
remember to pick up the book. I love that you clarify for us exactly about the book, because usually when you hear entrepreneurship you're just thinking like being an entrepreneur, but then you identify that it's also intrapreneur. We don't really think about it that way.
Right.
So
Right.
thank you for sharing that. So whether you is aspire to have a business, or maybe you have a 9 to 5, but you can always have the entrepreneur mindset to level up, as Mr. Paul is sharing with us this evening. So please go ahead to Amazon.com. You can just type his name and it will come up. Bretner Paul, level up the entrepreneur mindset. It's time we support y'all.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, you can share too. That's supporting.
Yeah. Quickly. So bookkeeping. You starting a bookkeeping company. Your goal, and that's what a lot of small business, the mistakes we make, is that that's your baby, and you want to be in it every day, 10 hours a day or whatever. Right? In the beginning, yes, but your goal is to build a business, get the clientele, put people in place to eventually where you're managing the business, right?
mm-hmm.
Um, Same thing with the law office. As the kids get older,
Right.
yeah, your goal is not to meet with every client and
For sure.
do the intake. Yeah, you have somebody doing your intake, and you have associates working at the millions, and you you moreover saying like, okay, that technical questions they don't know about, right? Whether it's a past crime or whatever it may be about immigration, that is very specific, or waivers or whatever. That's something that's very technical. That's when they come to you, and then you have associates working in your practice. You will still have clients, don't get me wrong, but now you're not just your main power because there's only so many hours in the
There
day
you
for
go.
you to make money, right? Now,
Right.
if you have two, three, four, five people helping you making money, you make more money. Yeah. And then by then it's not even working anymore, right? Because you're doing something you love and that's your business and you have people helping you make money, which is the essence of corporate America, right? The
Right.
CEO, the president, or whatever, and VPs and everybody else at the bottom. And the guy who's working the hardest labor, physical labor, make less money than the people up here.
Right.
Why? Because it's more supposedly more technical, mental.
Yes.
I don't totally buy it. But the lady who's cleaning 20 hotel room for $12, $15 should be. I think that she should make more than the general manager. But that's me or he. But that's because that's physical labor versus okay, who's on the schedule as a general manager, right? Payroll, somebody's complaining, but it comes with the territories. That's what the setup is. That's what we have to work with. Unfortunately.
Right. For
We have
sure.
to sell ourselves, know how to sell ourselves, sell our skills.
Yep,
And then if we have to increase our knowledge, go ahead and do that so we can level up.
that's right.
This
Replicate
has
yourself in somebody else that can do what you can do for your business, if that makes sense. You have to be able to teach somebody else whatever
mm,
skill you have in your business so they can be as good of a bookkeeper as you are. That way you're not there every day. You know,
duplicate yourself.
duplicate yourself.
Right.
Duplicate
Right.
yourself.
Yep.
I think there's so many other questions we could ask, but obviously you've been so generous with your time and with your knowledge in sharing with us. And so, if you all have any additional question, you can always reach out to Mr. Bretner Paul via his social media platform. Um, I'm pretty sure you have a website too because I think I saw it. Right, Bretner Paul? No,
No, just on Facebook.
on
Nah,
Facebook. Okay,
yeah, yeah, nothing,
and
nothing,
then
no page yet,
no page yet. Okay, let me
no web page
let's
yet.
do the book. No page yet. Okay. And then get the book on Amazon.com. Level up the entrepreneur mindset. That is it for today. I'm not sure if before I wrap it up, any last thing that Attorney Camillian or Mr. Paul you want to share?
Go ahead, Bretner.
Yeah, I want to thank you, ladies, for putting this forum space together. It is not easy. Some days you will have one viewer, some days you will have 100. As long as you're making a change with at least one person, that what really matters. But over time, you keep doing it, you keep doing it, you'll have a following, and there's a lot of blogs that get into the millions, right? And then they started with one person or 10. And then the more they do it, the more valuable the information becomes. It becomes viral, and people, just gravitate to it. So just keep doing what you guys are doing. I've watched the Faith Talk. That's also pretty good. The last time I saw Rene on there, he was pretty good. So keep doing what you guys are doing and keep sharing this resource with the community.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you to Desiree Martinez for watching and for commenting. She said, great conversation. Looking forward to reading the book. Uh,
All
and
right.
my sister Christine Renee, thanks Red Classic Man Paul for all your support. Yeah, so she's been there. She's been here.
I'm
Jamming.
gonna invoice your sister because
She is consistent. She
she'll be
is
like, "What's the latest crypto,
persistent.
Brad? What's the latest stock? What's the latest?" I'm like, "All right, girl. Here's what to buy. Here's what to buy. Come on, let's go." So, but I
She
appreciate
is
it.
persistent indeed. Well, thank you for being our interviewee this evening. Thank you for to all of you who are watching. This was live and conversation. So we hope you can join us again next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Central Time, where we're going to share more resources, more information, and bring people who can help you level up. That's it for this evening. Daphnée Antoine and Daphnée Camilien of Camilien Laws signing out. And remember, Attorney Camilien can be reached at chameleonlaw.com, and her phone number is 847-410-9022. 847-410-9022. And I have my Facebook page. You can reach out to me there. And so if you have a business and you need a bookkeeper, I'm going to start launching that's providing that service. So feel free to reach out to me as well. Thank you. Have a good evening.
All right,
Bye.
bye.